Hi everyone, welcome to the Grounded Empath. So my name is Jessie and I'm going to take this first video to just explain to you what the channel is about. First and foremost, I apologize for the complete whitewash that I look like right now. I'm sitting out in my sunroom, so it is the middle of March and we've had a few really nice warm days here, but today is kind of colder and gloomy. So one of the things I like to do to help myself feel better mentally and just, make sure that setting off on the right foot for the day is I like to just sit out here for a few minutes every day and get some sun. I wanted to introduce myself in this video and explain kind of the purpose behind me making this channel and what I mean by the grounded empath. So a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Jessie, and I am a mom of two boys, a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old. I am married. I've got two dogs, one of which is on my lap right now, so you'll probably see them often. This is Ted. Say hi, Ted. And Lulu's hiding somewhere. I also have 14 chickens, and we live in the woods, so we've got lots of nature around us, which I'll talk about at some point. I just over the last few years have started to do some more self-exploration and realized that I am something called an empath. And if you're not familiar with the term, you're not alone. So my first encounter with the word empath was from the movie Guardians of the Galaxy. And the character, she's she's got these little antennae and she's super cute. And now I'm just blanking on who it is, what the name of the character is, and what the planet she lives on. But she can tell when the bad guy in the movie, when he is sleeping, when he's awake, when he's angry, because she senses it. So I remember sitting in the movie theater watching this, and I was like, oh my God, if you took the antenna off, that's who I am. I'm an empath. So at first I thought the term was just a sci-fi term. This is what they write about in the movies, and that they just happened to connect to me personally. And then last summer, so it was, probably 7 months ago or so, I was going through some really tough stuff and made some big life changes because of it. And I started realizing, I started YouTube University, teaching myself about what it means to be this empath. Somebody had said it to me, and I was like, oh my God, that is what I am. So I started looking it up. And when you look up empath on YouTube, just prepare yourself. There's a lot of interesting things out there. So a little bit more about my background. I'm a biology teacher. I actually just stepped away from teaching high school after 9 years. I still teach a college class though, and I do home instruction. So I'm a very science-minded person. And so for me, this I want to say touchy-feely stuff, I was like, what's the proof? What's the evidence? I know that I feel it, and I've always been open-minded and spiritual. However, I'm like, how does this work? So started doing my own research, and there just wasn't a lot out there that was practical for me. It was much more theoretical, but also just kind of out there. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I do not put down anybody that has found their spiritual awakening or is into numerology or astrology or tapping on there's things about tapping. That is all for you. I am just not there. So I recently started going back to my therapist for some things, and I was talking to her about this, and I was like, it's hard being an empath. And I said, especially because the stuff that's supposed to help you, I just can't wrap my head around. I said, I feel like I'm like a normal person empath. And so we started laughing and we were talking about it. And she was like, there's your YouTube channel, The Grounded Empath. You should go out there and be the normal person empath. And I was like, oh my God, I should. So really for me, this is going to be a journey. I want to know more about how I can help myself as an empath. I want to know what things work for me and what things don't work for me. So that's kind of what this channel is. I'm going to be exploring what it means to be an empath and what everyday life looks like, as well as some of the techniques and things that people have talked about and have used for years and years, and see if those things work for me. And my goal is, while I'm going through it, maybe somebody else that feels like me could go through it as well. Because I think that, you know, I don't want people to feel like, oh, I'm not an empath because I don't use crystals, or I'm not an empath because I don't know how to meditate, or how to block negativity, or how to use sound to calm my mind. If you can't do those things, you are in the same boat with me, all right? That is just the truth. I hope to one day look back at this video and be like, wow, I couldn't even meditate very well then. Or wow, I had no idea how to use this weird tuning fork to make my mind calm down. Or, wow, I saged my house before not knowing what the heck it was doing, and now I think it really works. I hope one day I can look back at and say those things. And I hope that one day you can too, or find what works for you. So that's really my goal, is to bring you on this journey with me. So just real quick, what being an empath means to me, and I will dive more into this in a later video. But for me, the personal definition of being an empath, or a highly sensitive person, which is another keyword that you'll find, what that means to me is that I'm intuitive. I can pick up on people's emotions and their energies very easily, and sometimes too much. So when an empath is surrounded by negativity, which is what has happened, over the last few years, just like our political climate and my work climate and like things like that, I just have become very surrounded by negativity. And when an empath is surrounded by negativity, it can be very, very draining. And I was experiencing physical exhaustion. Like I was coming home and crashing. And so that's why I started looking into it. So being an empath, you're very sensitive to energies around you. Again, I'm still learning this, so you're very sensitive to those things, and they actually like impact your emotional status and your mental well-being. So it's more so than just like, oh, that person's in a bad mood. It is, you feel that person's bad mood. With it also comes some things like being, I don't want to say being psychic, because I'm totally not psychic. Like if I were psychic, I would know what the stock market is going to do tomorrow, because right now it is crashing and, everybody's freaking out. But today is, by the way, for nostalgia, it's March 12th, 2020, and we all just lost a lot of money. So, if I was psychic, I would have more insight. However, I'm not, but I can tell things. Like so many times in my life, I've like predicted things, and, like as a wife, my husband hates it. So he'll walk in the house and I'll be like, what's wrong? You had a bad day. What's going on? Because I just like feel it. And sometimes I feel like I know something's going to happen, and then it happens. My sister has the same thing in terms of that. So, she's had multiple really weird incidents in her life with like, kind of predicting that something was about to happen. So maybe it runs in the family, genetics, right? So anyway, that is what being an empath is to me. And I want to expand upon that in a later video. But because everybody is different and there's like different levels of empathy. So, I'll talk more about that at another point. But welcome to the channel. Welcome to, going on this journey with me and exploring the different options that are out there for us normal empaths, us grounded empaths. Um, and I hope that you find some helpful information throughout our time together. So, since this is the first video, I would really love if you subscribed, hit the like button. That way I know, that there are people out there that are going to enjoy and appreciate these videos, and share it with your friends. If you have other people that you know are empaths, share this with them because we're all in this together and I think that we could really learn from each other. All right, guys, have a great day.